him for that. Soon, news that I'd been cheated on started spreading in the community like wildfire. People were secretly calling me Cuckton and laughing behind my back. When my roommate, Mick Kensley, heard about it, he patted me on the shoulders and gave me a pitying look. Aiden, it's not that embarrassing that Kai stole your girlfriend, it just means you both have the same taste. If you can't say something nice, then don't say anything at all, I exclaimed, lifting my leg to kick him. Mick immediately ducked out of the way. He grinned and waved his hands around. Relax, I've got a wonderful idea. If he keeps stealing your girlfriends, then just get yourself a boyfriend instead. Use that against him. Don't tell me that he's also planning to steal a guy too. I turned to look at him. That was a brilliant idea. That's perfect. I'd do that even if it was just to disgust him, I said with a final clap of my hands. Mick then raised his eyebrow and waggled it at me. So, where are you planning to find yourself a boyfriend? I hooked my arm around his neck and smirked. That's going to be your job. Before he could protest, I flopped onto my bed and fell asleep at once, the corners of my lips curling upward as I dreamed of revenge and the relief it would bring me. Mick worked fast. He really managed to find me a fake boyfriend the very next day, and we agreed to meet at the bar the same night. I didn't think much about it and went for the date excitedly. The bar was dimly lit, thick with the smell of alcohol and cheap perfume. My boyfriend was Cody Jepson, and he was the athletic, active type. If Kai was a handsome character who looked like he just came out of a movie, Cody's handsomeness was more of the approachable, down-to-earth kind. You're a lot more different than I expected, Cody said with a bashful smile. I cocked an eyebrow at him and leaned in a little closer. How so? You're less rowdy, he answered with a low chuckle, the tips of his ears turning red. I felt my heart drop to my stomach. I bet Mick must have painted me as some loud, obnoxious clown or something, but why did tonight's date somehow feel more like a real blind date than anything else? I couldn't be bothered anymore as long as it kept Kai away from me. I copied my clingy ex-girlfriend's behavior and leaned closer into Cody's embrace, my shoulder brushing his firm, supple chest. Cody froze as his Adam's apple bobbed in his throat. His face turned red like he'd just been set ablaze. I could even tell that his breathing went erratic for a couple of seconds there. He hesitantly slid his hand down to my waist and carefully rubbed the thin fabric of my shirt in his fingers as if testing the waters. Aiden, you. His voice was hoarse, and a flicker of emotion appeared in his eyes just as I was wondering if Cody's reactions were simply too naive and innocent for his own good. The door to the bar was suddenly slammed wide open with a loud bang, and then, the worst possible person I could ever bump into walked in, my eighth ex-girlfriend. Liesl widened her eyes as she stared at me leaning into Cody's embrace. She was so shocked. She might as well have seen a ghost. Aiden Winston. You're gay. I caught a glimpse of Kai walking in behind Liesl as he took his time, but his eyes were as cold as ice. I made a decision then and there. I pressed myself closer to Cody against his broad chest and reached up to tug coyly on his collar. Then I acted as if I was smitten and said, so what if I'm gay? Love knows no genders. I'm in love with him as a person, and there's nothing you can do about it. Cody played along with me and slid his arm around my waist, pulling me flush against him. I gritted my teeth and put up with it, sneaking a glance at Kai. His face was as